I love travelling. I would go as far as to say that it's an obsession of mine. Travelling overseas is wonderful, but also a holiday in this country is exciting, as is a day out to somewhere local that I haven't been to before. But like everything else, to get the best out of your trip, you need some careful planning and preparation. An important item I always carry is a torch. In the tropics, night drops suddenly like a cloak, and you need a light at hand. In the Nordic countries, night can come as early as 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In the Northern Hemisphere, the fact that Christmas comes amidst the darkest, coldest winter and broadly coincides with the winter solstice and the turning of the year offers rich metaphorical pickings. Turning towards the dark with its mystery is an inward journey that sometimes we are forced to make. It's so dark we need light and warmth to help us through the long nights. Who knows what gift may be given when the darkness is at its deepest? The following is a Russian story. It was the darkest night, and the night visitors had gone their way, leaving their gifts, the gifts of kings and of shepherds. The baby was asleep, and the parents were resting after a long day. There were animals in the stable, and all was quiet, save for the sound of the swishing of the tail of the horse, the slow chewing of the cow, and the hens pecking. Suddenly, there was a movement in the shadows. It was the fox. "What's an animal like you doing in a place like this?" asked the horse. "I've come to bring my gift for the child," the fox replied. The other animals had woken and looked with amazement at the fox. "What can an animal such as you bring to a child such as this?" said the cow. The fox was silent. Then he spoke. "This child, when fully grown, will need to know when to lie low in the dark shadows and when to move out into the light, wide open spaces. This is the gift I bring." The animals looked at each other and laughed at the thought of such a thing. But when they stopped laughing and turned to look again into the dark shadows of the stable, they realized that the fox had disappeared once more into the night, having left his gift for the child. At this time of year, candles are more widely used and appreciated. In churches, candles are very important both symbolically and also emotionally. I always light 2 candles when I enter a church or cathedral in memory of my late parents. You may see an Advent crown or wreath. The crown is often made up of a wreath of greenery, evergreen, symbolising everlasting life. The crown has 4 candles around the outside and 1 in the centre. 1 candle is lit on the first Sunday of Advent, 2 candles on the second, and so on. Each candle has a different meaning. The first represents Isaiah. The second represents the Bible. The third represents Mary, the mother of Jesus. The fourth represents John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin. The central candle is lit on Christmas Day and represents Jesus, the light of the world. This Christmas may be different for all of us, and for many this time of year is not a happy one for many and varied reasons. The journey from darkness to light can be long and tiring. As you journey about during the Christmas period, notice the different coloured lights people use and the lights in the shops. Maybe at home, light a candle for people who, for whatever reason, are not with you this year, due to travel restrictions, illness, or bereavement. As you light the candle, give thanks for the light they brought into your life. A poem by Chris Yokel. Would you wait several thousand years for someone to make good on their promise, especially if you knew they had the power to fulfill it in a moment? Perhaps, yes, if you were sitting in the dark and your only hope was the long, slow deliverance of sunrise. If you feel that you are in a dark place at this time for whatever reason and are having difficulties coping with your own journey, please come and see us. Sharing is caring, and we do care for each one of you.